Clear thinking is not a luxury of the wise. It is the front line of survival in a world designed to cloud your judgment. Marcus Aurelius did not write meditations in the luxury of peace. He wrote it on battlefields, surrounded by betrayal, disease, death, and the decaying promises of empire. And yet, in the blood-soaked quiet between chaos, he returned not to strategy but to the discipline of thought. You too are at war, though not with spears and arrows, but with distractions masquerading as meaning, emotions posing as truth, and the echo of every fear you've refused to face. Clarity is not achieved by adding more, it is a violent removal, a stripping down, a kind of inner fasting. You think you need more time, more information, more opinions, when in fact you need less. Marcus once scrawled, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. But how often do you visit yours?" You betray that inner retreat constantly, handing over its keys to strangers, to headlines, to every twitch of your ego. You scroll endlessly, not to find answers, but to escape the question. The Stoics knew this truth, that the mind untrained becomes its own tyrant. To think clearly, you must become a guardian at the gates of your perception. What enters your mind, what lingers, what is allowed to grow, these are not accidents, they are permissions. You must starve illusion and feed only what sharpens. Consider this. How often do you chase control of the world while abandoning control of your thoughts? You react before you reflect, speak before you observe, judge before you understand. That is not thinking, it is possession by impulse. Aurelius didn't seek clarity by retreating into theory. He confronted his own contradictions. He wrote, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. So what colors have you dipped your mind in? Fear, vanity, envy? Or have you dared to choose thoughts that make you stronger, quieter, more precise? You already know what clouds your mind: resentment, the compulsion to be understood, the sickness of wanting to win every argument. Each one is a fog, and you carry the torch that could burn it away if only you would stop feeding the flame of chaos. What would happen if you questioned every belief you've inherited, not with cynicism, but with ruthless honesty? Not all thoughts are yours. Many are infections passed from the sick minds of society. Clear thinking begins when you stop worshipping your thoughts and start auditing them. Does this belief serve my character? Does it sharpen my courage? Or is it a convenient excuse, a mask for cowardice? Seneca warned that to be everywhere is to be nowhere. Your thoughts scattered across 10 worries, 5 regrets, 3 fantasies. Bring them home. Focus is not natural, it is forged. Distraction is the default of the undisciplined. And yet, clarity does not mean serenity. It is not calmness, it is precision in the storm. The archer feels the wind, hears the chaos, but the arrow still flies true. Your mind must be that arrow, direct, deliberate, unfazed. Why do you think the Stoics prized death so highly, not as a morbid obsession, but as a sword against mental clutter? Marcus said it plainly. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Suddenly the trivial vanishes. That grudge, dust, that anxious spiral, a ghost. The hour you're wasting now may be your last. Clarity begins at the edge of mortality. When you remember you will die, you finally learn how to live with focus. If everything mattered, nothing would. So, choose. Choose what enters your mind. Choose what deserves your energy. Choose silence over noise, action over reaction, principle over popularity. Aurelius governed Rome, but more importantly, he governed himself. His journals were not for display, they were weapons against delusion. When was the last time you interrogated your own soul? wrote down your contradictions, stared at them without excuse? This is the discipline. To examine your mind as if it belonged to someone you're responsible for, to care for it like a soldier tends to his sword, not with comfort, but with necessity. Clarity is not given. It is earned in the dark corners of thought, where no one claps, where no one sees, where you battle the parts of yourself that refuse to evolve. The reward? A mind that cannot be shaken, a gaze that pierces through noise, a life lived with such inner precision that even fate itself begins to hesitate. So, the next time the world screams at you to react, to worry, to conform, ask yourself, what would a clear mind do? Then do that, not once, but relentlessly, until your mind becomes your ally, not your enemy.